This is Overdrive.
This is Overdrive. Coming up, we take a fast trip around Walters Arena. Rosie trains with the Marshals, and we go for a nice drive in the country, sporting car trial style.
Welcome to Overdrive. All of that's coming up, but first of all, we took a trip to Catton Park to look at some sporting car trials. Let's see how we get along.
Not all motorsports happen to take place on racetracks. Many occur out here in the country. Welcome to the wonderful world of sporting car trials. The principle is simple. Get as far around the course as possible. The further you get, the less points are awarded, and low scores win. There is no time involved. Sporting car trials champion Ian Wright takes us through the unusual cars that compete in this sport.
So Ian, can you explain to me what I'm sitting in?
Okay, you're sitting in a sporting trials car,
Right,
sometimes known as a mud plugger.
right.
It's a sport that we do only in the winter, and the idea is to get from the beginning of a section to the end, which is predominantly uphill.
Right. So plenty of mud.
Mud, snow, ice, but however, it can be sunny like today. All we do is we adjust the tyre pressures on a dry day to make it harder for ourselves, because the cars are quite odd.
Yeah.
As you might have noticed, they're only two-wheel drive. We only use road pattern tyres, no big knobbly tyres, and we use something called fiddle brakes, which are these levers here, if you can see them,
Yes.
and these are independent rear brakes.
Right.
Both brakes to slow the car down or stop, left brake for turning left, right brake for turning right, and then either the left or the right as a form of traction control. So basically, if this wheel started to spin, we'd put a little bit of brake on, and if this wheel started to spin, we'd put a little bit of brake on. You can't have both on to stop wheel spinning, it's either one or the other. Alternatively, no brakes and a lot of power, which will make both wheels spin. But it's probably the black art of the sport. Good fun.
Yes, it sounds it.
So do you want to have a go?
Yeah? Well, with you driving, please, but yes, I'll
All right.
be passenger for a go.
Okay, all right then, let's give that a go. We'll start here, control the left turn.
The passenger isn't just there for the ride, they have a real job to do also. Ian explains more with passenger Jess.
Okay, so now we're just going to show you how important a passenger is to trials cars. Their job is to balance the car and keep as much weight as possible on the uphill wheel. So I'll show you how that's done.
sat in the Mitsubishi Evo 10, which, believe it or not, is a rally car. Now, on the note of rallying, we're in South Wales. Let's go to one of their popular rallying places, Walters Arena in Glynneath.
Walters Arena has entertained many spectators over the years. Time to see the stage close up and fast. Let's go on board Dave Matthews' Group N Subaru Impreza. With action so fast, let's take a slower look. The stage starts off with the big jump, made longer by the downhill section towards the lake. Then into a long left-hand corner. Get this wrong and you will be taking an early bath, literally. Towards the trees, through and into the first of many chicanes, being careful not to cut the corner too fine and fall into the ditch on the inside. Straighten up and head down to the tight right-hand hairpin corner. Dave's using the handbrake turn technique to lessen the Subaru's turning circle. Back towards the lake and through another chicane, this time over a small crest which could well see the faster cars airborne, then set up for one of the top photo shots on the stage, the lakeside jump, and I can tell you it's not comfortable. All four wheels back on the ground for the first two square right-hand corners. Slow speed with power put down on the way out to kick the tail of the car out wide. Through the second one to complete the circuit of the lake. And now a medium left-hand turn to head back up the hill. There's not much time to think here before the next corner. Another square left. Time to use the Scandinavian flick to scrub off speed and use the car's inertia to get around the tight corner. Onto the faster roads now, a long flat left-hander. Into a flat right. Then immediately into a tight left-hand bend. And a muddy wash for the windscreen, one of the many distractions for rally drivers. Chicane to the right, then two medium right-hand corners in quick succession, and the road becomes much wider here. The next corner is hard up to the right, but the wideness of the road helps to keep the speed up. Then it's a fast and long right-hand corner up towards the finish. There's the yellow board. And the red, marking the flying finish to complete the stage. So, there you have it, Walter's Arena in the wet.
We've heard about the cars. We've heard about the drivers. We've heard about the races. But what about the people behind the scenes? I'm talking about marshals. Let's see what they get up to.
Marshals are the essential component for all motorsports all over the world. Rosie joined a group of novice marshals for a training day at Pembrey Circuit, Carmarthenshire. Training is a mixture of hands-on and classroom sessions, where the latest techniques and rule changes are shown. But for the novices, it's back to the basics. What is a marshal and what do they do?
That's the BARC definition. It's a volunteer who helps a race club to run a motor race meeting.
I am told that all marshals are volunteers here, is that correct?
Yes, entirely correct. As far as I'm aware, marshals do not get paid anywhere in this country. They might get a little perk off somebody. One of the organisers maybe will give you a fiver towards your transport, or you might get a luncheon voucher out of it. But when it comes to being paid, no, none of us are paid at all. It's all out of our own pockets.
Take us through what you would do at a typical race.
Okay, depends on where you're marshalling. But if we take a circuit marshal, which is the one that everybody sees dressed in the orange overalls, arrive nice and early, sign on, out to the post, be allocated your duty. It could be for fire marshalling, it could be for flag marshalling, but working as a team, making sure that that part of the circuit is safe, that any incidents that happen are dealt with quickly and efficiently, and that racing can continue and hopefully nobody gets hurt.
Ensuring that nobody gets hurt is the marshal's highest priority. Fire is a racing driver's worst nightmare. So the marshals are all trained up to make sure that everyone gets out of the situation in good health, although this car wasn't so lucky. When things go really wrong, there is always plenty of backup from the specialist rescue units.
I'm here with Colin, who's part of the rescue team. So tell me what that involves when it comes to...
Right, hi. Basically, we're on standby, all race meetings here for any incident, accidents, anything like that. If a driver has an incident and there's an injury, we get called out. Crew of the unit is a doctor, 3 crew, so we've got medical cover on, we've got all the extrication kit. We arrive on the scene of an incident and then take it from there as to how we're going to extricate the driver, keeping an eye out for our own safety, which is, forget everybody else, it's our safety, and then working in to get the casualty out. As long as he's stable, ship him off to hospital and bring him back again for a racing for another day.
So all in all, what do people think about the marshals? And how do you get involved?
How important are marshals to the circuit?
Without marshals to any circuit, you wouldn't have a race.
Right.
You know, and it is that crucial. So days like today are so important to make sure that new rules, new information are passed on to them, and obviously we bring in new blood to the sport. So absolutely crucial to motor racing without any doubt.
Marshals, yes, obviously we encounter the marshals. We couldn't do what we love doing without marshals. They are the lifeblood of motorsport, and on the whole they are absolutely fantastic. I've had a few incidences in my time, particularly when I was in Ginettas, and they're absolutely fantastic. They come and sort you out, sort the car out, move it off the track as quickly as possible so that you can get back racing, and we just absolutely couldn't do it without it. They're absolutely brilliant.
Say I'm interested in becoming a marshal. What training would that involve?
basically what we would like you to do is, first of all, your interest as to what side of marshalling, which from what Andy has done today is giving you an aspect of what goes on at a circuit. Then what we would do is we'd invite you with an application form, put your form in, you get the tickets through, you arrive at the circuit. We then ask you a few questions. Would you like to be part of the pit crew, or would you like to go out on the bank, do particular aspects of marshalling? Could end up that you'll be scrutineering, or your interest. It's basically what you would like to do. Then either myself or Andy would take you around on race day and show you everything as it happens on a race day. And that would be for the first part of the morning. Then we would send you out on circuit with the aspect that you want to do, and then you go out there and enjoy yourself for a short period of time. But what you would be doing, you would be under the close guidance, watchful eye of someone who is already a qualified marshal.
But what's important to notice as well, that you don't have to attend a training day first.
No.
You can come and be joined as a marshal at any stage through the year. You need to have a training certificate or signed session once every 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
But some people think, well, I haven't done the training session, so therefore I can't marshal. You can start marshalling at any point through the year.
So how would one volunteer if they wanted to become a marshal?
Volunteer is very easy. If you've got access to the website, you just get onto the BARC website and click onto where it says Marshals. If you're at a race circuit, it's even easier. You ask anybody that's dressed in orange, and there's always a load around. Ask anybody that's dressed in orange about becoming a marshal, and they will always be pointed then in my direction, or whoever happens to be the chief marshal at the circuit that you go to. But it is very, very easy. There's minimal amount of paperwork to fill in. It's a very simple and cost-free exercise. It doesn't cost you anything at all.
That's it for us for another day. If you want to learn anything more about anything we've covered today, or about this beautiful car, please visit our website. Thanks for watching. See you again.